Max Verstappen is like black licorice. You either adore him or despise him, but you're not likely to fall somewhere in the middle. Although his 2021 World Championship victory was filled with controversy, there is little disagreement that Max Verstappen is one of Formula One's most feared drivers, with a racing style resembling that of Michael Schumacher and Ayrton Senna. This comes as no surprise, but what is it about Max that makes other drivers nervous? And will it finally lead to another victory? Stay tuned until the end of the video to find out. Verstappen has always been a competent racer, but he has upped his game in F1 to the point where he can compete with top drivers like Lewis Hamilton. He, like Hamilton, is capable of overcoming a pace deficit and pulling off overtaking maneuvers at vital periods, allowing him to progress from strength to strength. There was a time when Max appeared to be frantic, or at the very least impatient, in racing scenarios, but he has now calmed down. He's grown more calculated, acquiring patience while maintaining his ability to make a decisive move. When it comes to wheel-to-wheel racing, he's always in the proper spot. That's simply instinct. You may argue that he has exceeded Hamilton in that category, but we'll have to wait a few more seasons to be sure. Verstappen has also learned how to avoid asking too much of his opponent while passing, though his judgment isn't always ideal. However, he frequently strikes the right balance of accuracy and aggressiveness. Verstappen's strong strength was also highlighted as soon as he joined Red Bull, with Verstappen winning in Spain on a two-stop strategy on his debut with the team. While at Toro Rosso, he worked hard to learn tyre management, and he completed that race flawlessly, and he's built on it throughout the years. That race also needed strategic management of the battery power under pressure from Kimi Raikkonen, demonstrating his ability to think through what he needs to do to accomplish the result. He possesses the extra capability that great drivers have. Verstappen has a history of being extremely aggressive in braking zones. We also witnessed his iconic move on Raikkonen on the Kemmel Straight at Spa in 2016, but he's toned it down lately. He feels he belongs at the top of F1, and he's been preparing for it his entire life. Verstappen understands the dynamics of driving and is able to transfer it into strong and precise input to the team. We frequently hear him whining on the radio, but this displays his sensitivity. His level-headedness extends to his grasp of what the vehicle is doing and his communication with his race engineer. His responses are always precise and succinct, which provides his engineer with precisely what he wants from the driver. It's a nice balance, and it allows Verstappen to be consistently, mercilessly quick. Honda also values the clarity of Verstappen's technical comments. This provides information that may be utilized trackside to provide immediate improvement as well as long-term improvements. Verstappen, for one, loves Honda's attention to detail, even down to the wiring configuration. He frequently complains about power delivery or the feel of the car under braking, since those are areas that Renault, in particular, has had to make consistent. But Honda has also had to improve on them. But Verstappen isn't deterred by his flaws. Red Bull also plays an important role in this. This was the squad that brought out the best in Sebastian Vettel, who had struggled to recapture his success in the Ferrari setting, where he has been left to discover his own path. It takes effort on both sides to establish that rapport. Verstappen has also profited from being upgraded to Red Bull's uncontested number one. He is the team's future and the one everyone gravitates toward. The way he engages with the engineering staff is quite positive, and we saw Pierre Gasly in particular struggle to get through in the same manner last year. This is crucial for everyone in the top sport, and at 23, you may expect Verstappen to be less strong here than someone as established as Hamilton, but he's getting there as he develops. There are still times when he's not entirely in control. He, like so many others, has that with me or against me mindset at times. Overall, he's gotten much better at controlling his emotions and channeling losses, as he did in rebounding from that horrible start in Austria in 2019. But like Hamilton, Verstappen's basic conviction in himself and his abilities is dominant. He recovered from the troubles of 2018 and emerged a better driver as a result. That sometimes means he doesn't back down when he should, but those instances are becoming rare, and his level of performance is always consistent. This occasionally manifests itself as a resistance to recognize he has made a mistake when he plainly has, but this is not unusual for a driver of his caliber. Nothing can infiltrate such ultimate self-belief. While technical aptitude has been discussed, the best drivers are highly successful at being the focal point of a team and pulling it together Michael Schumacher style. Verstappen is not yet at Schumacher's level, but a team will gravitate toward the driver who is performing. Verstappen's approach to creating Ferrari has been more organic than Schumacher's. He also benefits from not having a megastar personality. He was raised to be a driver by his father, Jos Verstappen, and he lives and breathes racing. He's spent his entire life in and around teams, so it's natural for him to be a member of them. That, paired with the fascination generated by his performances, makes him the obvious focal point. Red Bull has worked hard to accommodate him, and the crew works well together. Honda is also fond of him. When Verstappen visited one of Honda's mass manufacturing sites in Japan, he was received with a kilometer-long guard of honor by the staff, who idolize him there. He's the one that broke the winless streak, and now he's developing a connection with Honda similar to what Ayrton and Senna did with Honda. This has the potential to become one of the greatest pairings in F1 history. In some respects, Verstappen is the worst teammate you can have, but his long-term relationships with Sainz and Ricciardo prove that it's not a personal thing. He's easy to get along with off the track, but tough to live with on it. And he's not excessively political inside the squad. He also has the advantage of being able to learn from Jos' mistakes. Jos has spoken about attempting to provide Max the direction he never received after what was ultimately the collapse of his own extremely promising career, which distinguishes him from the typical driver. No driver on the grid has had that type of background, not even Hamilton with his McLaren schooling. Jos once stated that in karting, he would resist putting a little oil on the clutch to help the start so that Max would have more work to do. He had to struggle his way forward. That represents the thinking. It wasn't simply win, it was win the hard way and develop your art. That's how his innate talent was honed and he became the driver he is today. In that sense, he's the ultimate experiment in what occurs when nature meets nurture, which is why he's so determined to extract more and more from himself. While he is still young, there is no clear lack of information in the databanks he has amassed that would lead to his doing anything dumb. And he'll just get better. Who will win if Verstappen and Hamilton have equal vehicle performance in all categories? It's the ideal circumstance, and the duo would be perfectly balanced. On that score, they would very certainly be tied in qualifying. But in races, we can anticipate Verstappen to be more confrontational, and it will be fascinating to watch how Hamilton reacts to that, since we know he's not entirely sure how to deal with him wheel to wheel. There would undoubtedly be epic conflicts, and Hamilton's better experience and talent may initially allow him to maintain his lead. However, drivers learn a lot from their loss, and if Verstappen did lose the first time, he would be a more complete version the second. Hamilton is already one of the few all-time greats, and Verstappen is well on his way. Do you think Max Verstappen has what it takes to lead F1 for the next few seasons with his driving style? Please let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any of our incredible videos. Keep an eye out for the next video. Bye for now.